magical. I'm feeling pretty good.
All right, so we are checking in with Eileen. Eileen, where are you this week?
Hello, Shane. Hello, everybody. I am at the Sivananda Ashram and Yoga Retreat on Paradise Island in the Bahamas.
Paradise Island, that sounds really nice.
It used to be called Hogs Island.
I like Paradise Island better.
I think everybody likes Paradise Island later, but I'll tell you a little bit about how it went from Hogs Island to Paradise Island later.
Okay. So what is it like there? I mean, this is a sort of a meditation retreat, or?
Yeah, my friend and I, we do the crystal bowl meditations where we live, and we do daily meditations, and we do the meditations with you guys every Saturday night. So we said, let's go in January for a meditation retreat. And they're very, very expensive when you find them, like in Thailand and the Caribbean and the United States. So, I mean, thousands of dollars before you pay for transportation. So we were like, I guess we're not going to do a meditation retreat, you know? And at the last minute, I Googled or internet searched yoga retreat. No, I searched ashram Caribbean. And this little place popped up because it's not on any lists anywhere. It's one of those things like you either know about it or you hear about it word of mouth or you just can't find it. Right. And it's been here like 40 years and it's a real ashram. It's not just a westernized yoga retreat calling itself an ashram. So
what exactly is an ashram for people who aren't familiar with that term?
Okay, so it's based in India and it's based on Hinduism, and it is a holy place to come together to share in devotion and song and food and meditation. So it's really a place of devotional peace. Can you see me okay with the sun?
Yeah, it's sort of going in and out a little bit, but yeah, it'll work.
I'm going to flip. I'm going to try to go here.
Yeah.
I can't really leave this spot because of the dodgy Wi-Fi, because we're on our own island and we're not near. It's right off of Nassau, a big, city in the Bahamas, but we're not close enough to get their Wi-Fi reception. So we have a bit of soft Wi-Fi, thin Wi-Fi.
No problem. I'm glad you're able to get anything out as it is. So you're going to record the meditation from there, and we're going to just join in here. And
okay. No, good idea, because Shane and I've been walking all over this ashram looking for a signal, and Shane and I, it took us like a half an hour to find one, didn't it?
Yeah. So during the meditation, our normal time for the meditation, the reason we're pre-recording this is because they actually shut all the electronics off, all the EMFs and everything, and they have a 2-hour session at the ashram. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, every day at 6 a.m. and 8 p.m., they shut down all electronics, including Wi-Fi, for 2 hours for the satsang. And that is the gathering of all people in the ashram to meditate, pray, and sing together. And then the yogi or the swami comes and gives you a lesson, a spiritual lesson at the end of it. So, and it's 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours at night.
So no recording that if there's no electronics then.
No, but I managed to record a little bit of the singing from the satsang last night. I got a bit of a signal, so I put it on in the back. They didn't mind. I wasn't intrusive, and I got to record some of the singing, and I put it in a 30-minute video for you guys that Shane's going to upload during this show today.
Very nice. Now, what does the ashram look like? Is it like a sort of a medicine wheel on the ground with rocks, or is it a cave, or what does the actual setting of the ashram look like?
It looks like a village in a jungle. So you're walking through a lot of greenery. Can you see that okay?
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful.
And then when you come to the end of greenery, you'll find some tents where volunteers pitch their tent, and then they stay here for free, but they work in the kitchens, the temples, the office, the wellness center where you get massages and foot reflexology. So there's tents everywhere. There's trees everywhere. And there's little pathways leading to temples and private, like, meditation spots.
Very nice. How far from the ocean are you there?
We're on the ocean.
Oh, nice.
So my beach hut has two little beds, a couple of little dressers, a couple of closets, and then a shared bathroom down the walkway. And it's actually on the beach. So you just open your windows at night and you can hear the sea. It's beautiful. It's clean. It's friendly. It's calm. It's peaceful. It's natural. No TVs, you know, no Starbucks, no bars, no dance halls or dancing places.
I wonder if you can, I don't know if you have an audio recorder on your phone, but if you can somehow record just like 5 minutes of the sound of the ocean and the seagulls or
Yeah,
whatever there is, that'd be nice background meditation sounds, ambience.
I'll do that. I'll record like 20 minutes of the ocean because it's quite loud because it's very windy. So the surf is up. It's like a big surf that crashes every 10 or 20 seconds. It crashes on the sand. It's lovely.
Oh, that sounds really nice.
It's very peaceful. The food is all vegetarian. And it's not vegan. There is a eating area that has the milks and the yogurts and the cheeses and the butter. And then there's an eating area that has all the vegetables and fruits. So you can go to both to fill your plate, or you can go to one. They're not mixed together.
Oh, nice.
It's really healthy. And I've got to say, it's very affordable, but hard to find because they don't really promote themselves. Because if they promote themselves, they'll get the wrong kind of people, they said. They'll get people who want a cheap beach vacation.
Right.
So people find them if they're devotional and they want to meditate and pray and gather together with like-minded souls. And it's about $170 to $180 a night, including the beach hut, all the food and water and tea, all the sat songs and all the programs during the day. Like they'll have two yoga programs where you go into beginning, intermediate, or advanced. They'll have painting mandalas on the beach for free.
Mm.
They'll have a meeting with the guru on forgiveness, a workshop for free. It's like it's all included.
Wow, that's
And
really nice.
it's cheaper than staying at some hotels in some towns.
Yeah.
And yet you get beautiful food and programs with it. So I would highly recommend this for our group because our group are dedicated, devotional people. They will get into the atmosphere here instead of coming for a cheap beach holiday. Like, where's my Starbucks and
Right.
where's my beer?
Right. So, for people who are interested in going to this, is there like a website or something people can go to find information? Or
Yep, I'm going to send that to you to put in the show more notes tonight. And
okay,
it's just shivananda.org. And I'll send it to you. And it's spelled without the H. It's spelled Sivananda, Sivananda. So it's
wow,
sivananda.org. And I will send that to you guys. And if you can get here, it will be a relaxing, peaceful, beautiful, harmonious weekend or week with people that are just like you, loving, kind, sharing. They're just so nice here. They're so welcoming, really welcoming.
very nice. So it's not like some of the places you might go where it's almost been so it's like a tourist town and there's all this. I
No,
guess it seems like it's more catered to the tourist and making money and all of that. It's not like that, huh?
not at all. So it's hard to find this place, and when you do find it, it's very secluded and it's very basic, but it's clean and friendly, and that it's got everything you need. So we're going to stay a week. We're going to do a shorter period, but the beach hut opened up for us. You need to book like a month or two in advance in the winter. I
Mm.
imagine in the summer it's pretty empty because it's so hot here. So book like a month or two in advance, and we're going to do a full week. So we should come back like floating on the air, basically, by the time we get home.
Well, I had snow flurries here earlier, so it sounds really nice there.
And you had a storm last night, didn't you? Because you couldn't go
Yeah.
live with the love
Yep.
stream.
Yep. Our power was interrupted a few times, and I was like, oh, I don't want to go on and just be kicked right back off. And we had flooding going on, flash flooding. So,
Oh, wow. Well, I saw your notification. I think all of us did a quick prayer to kind of calm things down by Shane. So I hope it worked.
Yep, it was great. Everything went fine, and we're safe, and it's warming back up now. I think we just got above freezing now. So, what's the temperature there?
It's about 80 right now, which I'm surprised at. For January, it's been 75 during the day and about 65 at night.
Mm,
So it's gotten a little bit warmer, but I am sitting in the sun, so that helps.
yeah, definitely.
And just real quick, the history that isn't in the produced video is that this whole island was called Hogs Island because it had wild hogs, and people would come here to shoot and hunt, which is sad. And then a rich family bought it, and this is back in the 60s. The daughter's daughter, so the granddaughter, was a heroin addict in the 60s. And Sivananda, the yogi, he's the one that they follow here, but he's not the one who opened it. So it's Vishnu Devananda. He's the yogi who opened the ashram, following his yogi, Sivananda. And he met the woman, and she said, I don't know what to do. The retreats aren't working. I don't think she'll be alive next year. She keeps overdosing on heroin. And he said, I'll take her with me to India, and she'll be my private secretary. And 2 years later, when he brought her back home to this island, she was not only completely healed of her addiction, but she was flourishing. She was thriving. She knew who she was, and she knew that the world was a safe and beautiful place. So she didn't rely on getting into an altered state through drugs in order to cope with her fears about this world, this matrix. And the mother was so taken with the success of this treatment that she leased this portion of the island to the guru for 100 years. So it was his for 100 years back in 1968, and he just opened it up, very small ashram, and like 30 people would come a year, and then 50 people, then 100 people, then 300 people, and now it's thousands of people who come every year. He's passed on, but the hotel chain called Atlantis tried to buy the whole island, and they tried to buy the ashram, and they offered them like $30 million for the ashram, and they said, no, this is a sacred healing center. We can't sell it for any amount of money. So Atlantis built a huge resort at the end of this island, and they built a road, and they said to the ashram, you and your guests may never use our road because you won't sell us the ground to own the whole island. So it's so cute. We have to go back and forth on a water taxi, which is way more fun, you know?
So you have to fly in somewhere else and then take a
Yeah,
water taxi over to the island?
you fly in. We went from Fort Lauderdale to Nassau, $75 one way. And then when you get to Nassau, you take a taxi to the dock. And then when you get to the dock, they send you a little speedboat. They pick you up when you come, and they drop you off when you want to go. And then they run a free water taxi service every hour, so you can get off the island. Yeah.
That's amazing. That sounds like a little adventure.
It is a little adventure. And just down the road from us used to live Keith Richards, Richard Harris, and Nick Nolte. No, what's his name? Nicolas Cage. And Nicolas Cage used to come here for breakfast because it's all, vegetarian, and the food is blessed. So we have a few celebrities that way. We have a huge resort that way. But this little piece here is pure paradise.
Oh, it sounds like it.
Yeah, truly paradise.
Well, thank you so much, Eileen, for taking the time to check in with us. And we'll be back to our normal show next week, right?
Just go live and chit chat because I should look 10 pounds lighter and 100 times more peaceful. Okay? You guys will tell me whether it worked or not.
You find your bliss while you're there. Thank you so much, Eileen.
Finding my bliss. Love you guys. Love you, Shane.
All right, love you too.
Peace. So the only way to arrive at the yoga ashram on Paradise Island, Bahamas, is by water taxi, which is free and provided by the ashram. So you get here by, there we come, the ashram's free water taxi. And it's the only way to get back since the big hotel chain put up the Atlantis Hotel at the other end of Paradise Island. And because the yoga ashram, Sivananda, would not sell out to them for $28 million, they said, you may not use our road. So the only way to and from the ashram now is by this little boat. It doesn't go very far. It goes to that marketplace with that yellow tower there that looks a little bit like Venice, St. Mark's Square. And then look, of course, that's really interesting, the huge cruise ships docking on New Providence Island, which also contains the main city, Nassau, Bahamas. So we're now entering the ashram, where they just ask you to speak quietly at all times, because you never know when you're going to find a group meditating or a single person sitting in nature meditating on their own, or a group doing yoga, journal writing. There are many different images of Shiva, who is the creator god and the destroyer god. But most are familiar with this image because they have it in front of CERN, which is all about the energies of creation rely on the energies of destruction. The energies of destruction rely on the energies of creation in a dualistic world of matter. They have a little store open for a few hours every day that has basically everything you might need at a yoga retreat that you might have left behind. But it particularly has a wonderful selection of books, metaphysical books based on Hinduism. So, I was just telling our guests that when they come here, if they've left anything behind, they can basically get it here. So there's a little bit of the essentials. Yes. Okay, and then you have some bonuses like coconut water. Yeah, and a little cafe, a little tiny cafe to the right for smoothies and holistic cookies, brownies, cheesecakes. Gluten-free, some of them. Dairy-free. Some of them dairy-free.
Not all, yeah.
What? Yeah, a little bit of mix of everything.
Yeah.
And then I was taken with these because you said Shiva images don't always have multiple arms.
Yeah.
So can you show me a Shiva?
A Shiva.
Okay. And what's your name?
My name is Yorma.
Hi, Yorma.
Hi.
Thank you for sharing this information with us. If will you just tell us, why doesn't Shiva have multiple arms, and how do you know it's Shiva in this image?
In this image, he has a cobra on his neck, which is showing like controlling the ego. He has this, how you say it?
What is that?
That thing? Like.
Oh, it's almost like a pitchfork, or like Neptune's.
Yeah, and he's sitting on a tiger skin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know that that's Shiva, even though.
Yeah.
And is Shiva male or female or both?
Shiva is a male. Shakti is a female.
And would this be the combination that you told me yesterday?
Yeah, and the cow.
Here we go. So you're saying Shiva on the left, Shakti on the right. They have a great bookstore here. So Swami Sivananda is the Swami inspired teacher for this ashram. But he didn't open it. As you walk through the grounds, which have very comfortable sidewalks, you'll find a lot of little paths leading off into kind of little special places where you might come to a little temple or a little water fountain where you can sit and enjoy nature or your own contemplative, meditative mind. And this is the temple of Durga, very powerful Hindu god of protection. And it's closed until you're invited in, and we will be going in with the welcome tour in a little bit. Many people volunteer here and live here for free in tents. The tents are all over the place. And they're given a job for the duration of their stay. It could be in the kitchen, it could be in the garden, housekeeping in the temples, in the shop, on the dock, in exchange for their stay here. And here is the main temple for satsang at 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. for 2 hours of devotional prayer and meditation and teaching and learning. Then they have these platform tents, which are rented out at less money than renting a room, private or shared, in the ashram, or a room, private or shared, in a beach hut. But you'll find tents everywhere, scattered all over the grounds. It's wonderful where the volunteers live. And there are bathrooms all over, very clean, shared, and different areas of the grounds, communal, with showers, communal washing up facilities for brushing teeth, and private showers and private toilets. Some of them are male-female designated. This particular one is not. Some cats, a French bulldog who lives here that we are... Hey, kitty! The French bulldog that lives here likes to play basketball. If you're playing basketball and he or she gets a hold of it, he won't give it up. And we're not allowed to feed him. He has a special diet and digestive issues. Okay, so if you just wander around where you see a path, you might come to a little place like this, which is a little fountain where you can write in your journal, meditate, pray, rest. It's so peaceful. It's so beautifully green. This is January and the temperature is 75 during the day, 65 at night. There's the basketball court. They do yoga there too. And a little bit windy on some days and not so windy on others. Everybody's really friendly here. I think it's the communal living and the communal eating, the communal praying. So it's Swami Vishnu Shivananda. Devananda.
Yes. Ananda means bliss, so it's just at the end of Swami's name.
And what does Deva mean? God?
I believe Dev does mean something, but that is also just added when it ends with a U or an A or something. So would be Ananda.
We've got Swami Shivananda, and we've got Swami Vishnu Devananda. So after you check in at the Welcome Center and do your welcome tour here every day at 11, there's a place for you to book your activities. They can be private foot reflexology or massages, or you get free group lessons every day. Most of them on yoga, some of them on workshops like forgiveness, and the satsang at 6 a.m. where everybody gets together, the satsang at 8 p.m. where everybody gets together for prayer, meditation, chanting, and learning from the Swamis. And they put on some painting this week, painting mandalas on the beach or near the beach. This makes it look like a large compound, but it's very compact. So there are very many communal sitting, eating, and gathering places, but this is where most of the people eat together. 2 meals a day. One at around 10, and then another around 6. Here they always have some herbal tea on offer. This is where they do the milks and the breads and the cheeses and the yogurts. A filtered reverse osmosis drinking fountain. It's kind of loud. Hot water for coffee drinkers like me. Got to bring your own coffee. And we're just coming up into the kitchen where you wash your own dishes during the day. And then here they would have beautiful vegetarian foods on offer. And in the kitchen, you can hear them praying over the food they make. So the food is not only nutritious and healthy, but it's spiritually nourishing as well. And here are some of the beach huts that we were lucky enough to get. Shared bathroom facilities, but a beautiful little beach hut with views of the outdoor yoga platform and the beautiful, beautiful turquoise sea. There are some more picnic tables out back so that you can sit and meditate right on the beach or eat there. So from our little beach hut, it's just a little walk down a sandy hill to an outdoor yoga platform. And then we can sit out here and read. Or sometimes we bring our meals here. It's still kind of communal. So Swami Vishnu Devananda, who leased this place for 100 years, owns this small section of what is now called Paradise Island. And there's Atlantis, the big hotel. I think they have another one in Dubai, which is very exclusive and very expensive. I think it might have a casino in it, and it has like dolphins that you can swim with there. I'm not saying you have to check it out yourself, but it is a very special and exclusive, expensive resort. It's been very windy here. Love it. Keeps the mosquitoes away. So the ashram is very compact, full of huts, lots and lots of vegetation and trees, and then you'll just be surprised by a temple here and there for praying, meditating, gathering, and then lots and lots of workshops and camping everywhere. And this is one of the main temples for classes, workshops, and meditating.
Sangha is what we have at 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. So a Sangha is a group of people that get together for a common purpose. So the goal of yoga is to find our true self, to realize ourself, it's said. So Sat is what's real. So in yoga, we're looking for our real self. So it's a group of people that get together to find their real self. Now over on the left picture there with the guy with the halo coming out of his head, that's Swami Sivananda. This is called Sivananda Yoga Retreat. He never came here. But he sent his disciple, my guru, Swami Vishnudevananda on the right, to come here to the West in 1957, and he arrived in 1959. But Sivananda said, if you want to find yourself, if you want self-realization, to practice 4 main yogas. And believe it or not, Hatha Yoga with the yoga mat is not one of the 4 main yogas. Swami Vishnu was a Hatha Yoga professor in India, and he sent him first because he knew that Westerners are very much into the body, and they'd be taken by touching their toes, because they already did that at gym class and stuff. But the 4 main yogas that we're supposed to practice, we practice 3 of them at satsanga. So the first one is called Raja Yoga. And Raja Yoga is the yoga of stopping your mind through meditation. So it said if you can stop your mind, which is always distracting you, you might find out who your real self is. So that's what we start at 6 a.m., 8 p.m. we do a half an hour of silent meditation. Then we do another yoga called Bhakti Yoga. Now, Bhakti Yoga is the yoga of devotion. So if you're a church goer and you go to church on the weekends, you're considered a Bhakti yogi. You know, it doesn't matter what the path of, what spiritual path you're on, but if you're devoted to say prayers and go to services, sing hymns, that's Bhakti Yoga. So we sing in an ancient Sanskrit language that's said to have energetic power every day, these chants. Now, we're going to have Krishna Das coming from New York City later on in about a month. And now we get overcrowded. 400 people want to sing. Krishna Das is an old rock and roll singer, play his harmonium like an electric guitar and sing Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. But I'll tell you, in 1982, when I first came here, the only guys I ever heard singing Hare Rama, Hare Krishna were these guys on Boston Common wearing an orange dress with a little ponytail sticking out of their head, playing a tambourine, trying to get me to take some book. Whenever I saw those guys, I would cross the street. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even go onto Boston Common if those guys were there. I didn't know what the heck was going on. But I arrived here to try to stop my heavy smoking marijuana habit. And I always felt good after doing yoga, so I decided to give up marijuana for yoga, and I got sent here by some teachers. And I'd no sooner get off the boat, and I hear, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, and I said, oh my God, someone's going to shave my head, put me in an orange dress, send me to the Cleveland airport with a tambourine and a box of Bhagavad Gitas. I don't want to go. So I just left my bag right on the dock. I ran to the office and said, please call Delta Airlines for me. I want to change my ticket. And they said, no problem. I said, how much? They said, $75. It turns out that I had $6.35. So the bad news is you're stuck with me. But once a week now, I get to lead the chantings. Whenever Hare Krishna guys come in, I could sing Hare Krishna louder than them, and they kind of cross the street when they see me coming. But anyway, it's a very big experience to open your heart and to try to connect with the divine through chanting. So that's Bhakti Yoga. That's the second thing we do. And right now we have in the morning we have one of our acharyas, one of our pundits speak, and that's called Jnana Yoga. And he's trying to explain to you how to find your real self using your intellect. So we got the yoga of the intellect, the yoga of devotion, and the yoga of meditation we practice. There's a fourth yoga that we practice here called Karma Yoga. Sivananda's model was serve, love, give, purify, meditate, realize. So if you want to lead a spiritual life, the first thing you're supposed to do is do something for somebody else without any reward. That's to overcome your ego and to open your heart. So most all of us here, oh, he's gone. The guy that was just washing this floor, he's not getting paid 20 bucks an hour. I'm not getting paid 20 bucks an hour. We are all volunteers here because yoga makes us feel good. We think it's a good place for people to come. We want you to feel good. And so we just volunteer to come here. Of course, my reward is I don't have to shovel snow in Ottawa because I'm here. But still, that's about it. I don't get fortune or fame, so that's okay. So after the talk finishes, then we get a Hindu priest to come. And he stands over in that corner, and we sing, we're all stand up, and he says, stand up for us to awaken your own inner light. So that's when you open your own light. Then we bow down in that direction. And a lot of people in the West aren't too fussy about bowing down. We bow in the direction of Krishna and Swami Sivananda, but if you don't want to bow down to anything outside, if you bring your forehead on the ground, you can bow down to your own inner light, because you don't see anything, so you could bow down to the light within you. Or if it's really too much for you to bow down, you don't have to bow down, but that's what we do here. And then at the doors, at each door on the way out, there's usually a platter of fruit. That's called prasad. It always has to be sweet food. Sometimes it's a special day and we get cookies or something, but usually it's fruit. And on the way out, you're supposed to take a piece to double your pleasure, double your fun, double your blessings, because it is said to have picked up all of the good vibrations from all of the prayers and things. You learn, he's learned from 4 years old how to be a priest, because there's so many things that he has to learn and memorize. You start at 4 years old with your father or your uncle. So he's a priest. His brother, who I know is in California, is a priest. His nephew's at our New York ashram. He's a priest. And his son's in India running their temple. He's also a priest, but it's a family business. So priests are married, and swamis are not married. Anything that connects you to the divine is a portal. It's a two-way street. So they make a statue about it. In the statue, this one is called Vana Durga, which is the statue to the energy of the forest. So if you connect to the infinite by going into the forest, wow, there you go. That might be your way to go into the forest, is to have this two-way street. So Krishna represents joy. So if joy brings you towards the divine, that's your portal. Lakshmi represents beauty. If you see a beautiful sunset or sunrise, and that puts you into another state of consciousness, beauty is your connection with the divine. So all of these different qualities are considered qualities of the infinite, but they're finite qualities. So he said it was the craziest thing that we have this little name for the infinite, and if you have the wrong name, we should kill each other. It's not really what Hindus think. So we are not trying to convert anyone to Hinduism. But this is a dead coral reef. He gets and his hands get sucked onto the reef, and he has an electrical shock, and he has a vision. And the vision is this. He said that this coral reef is going on the tippity top, on the pinnacle of a steeple. He saw a steeple going 100 feet underground, and he saw that steeple attached to a giant crystal temple that had sunk here. And he said that temple was from the days of Atlantis, and Atlantans would come to this very place that we are now for healing and spiritual purposes. And he said, oh, I'm called here to reawaken the healing spiritual energy that's already here. That's what he said. And it used to be a secret, but he told me, and I don't keep secrets. So if you get a secret, don't tell me. Now everybody knows. But he said it was bigger than this whole property, the temple. They named the place down the beach Atlantis, and they didn't pick the name out of the hat. If you look up Bimini Road, if you've never heard of it, there's another Bahamian island called Bimini, and out of the ocean beside it is popping a road with buildings on each side, which is not supposed to be there. Also, as a teenager, I read all of these books by the American sleeping prophet Edgar Cayce, and there's one Edgar Cayce in Atlantis. He said Atlantis was right here, and he said Atlantis is going to rise again. So my hope for this place not going underwater with the rising seas is that this temple is going to pop out of the ocean and be on top of the mountain, so then we'll be able to still come here. But so then Mrs. Boswell continues the walk with Swami Vishnu, and she says to him, Swami Vishnu, if you would teach the same yoga that you taught my daughter, I'll give you a 99-year lease on this place. So that's how we got this amazing 4.4 acres of property. Now, she was a businesswoman. It wasn't like for $1 a year or $1 for 99 years. It was big money, and we couldn't make enough money with guests coming here because this was 1968. Like 10 people will come here. In the 1970s, 35 people would come here. We finally, around 1980, started hitting 100 people. 1990s, 200. 2000, up to 300. So now we could easily pay that rent. But in those days, we had a pizzeria in New York State. We had a pizzeria in Quebec. We had a gas station, Sivananda Ashram in Quebec. We had a sprout factory in New York City, and we had a whole grain bread business in New York City. Why? All manned by Karma Yogis, all manned by volunteers. Why? Because Swami Vishnu had to pay the rent here. And he knew that 50 years down the line that you and I would want to come for our own healing and spiritual purposes, and he felt it was really important to keep this place going. So he was a real visionary, and I really think his vision has come to fruition. About as authentic Indian yoga as you can get. It's a spiritually based yoga. Most Western yoga, hot yoga, yoga with Madonna songs and music, that is very westernized. This is about, we'll never have music because in the yogic scriptures, the music of yoga is silence. We're trying to find silence. So, I would say it's a little change from Swami Vishnu's day. I was trained here 40 years ago or so. It's a little bit more packaged now. We have more branded, but it's still very authentic Indian yoga.
This is the live meditation premiered just a few hours later with Shane, and I'm in the Sivananda Ashram and Yoga Retreat, Paradise Islands in the Bahamas. And this whole place is about unity with each other in sharing the devotion of the one divine power, whether that's God or source energy, however you want to view that one divine power that makes all things possible. That's what I'm mostly feeling here, is that it is a devotional place where we share in recognizing the divine. So tonight's meditation, in keeping with the ashram, will be about connecting you directly to divinity. So just get really comfortable. Don't do this if you're walking or driving. Make sure that you're in a safe, quiet, relaxing location. Sit down if you like. Get comfy. Close your eyes. And start by taking a nice, deep, relaxing breath in. Hold it for just a moment. And exhale out any tension anywhere in the physical body. When you're ready, take a nice, full, deep breath in. Hold it for just a moment. And exhale out any mental or emotional stress. Finally, take a nice, deep, relaxing breath in. Really fill up the lower part of your lungs. Let your abdomen expand. And exhale it all completely. And now we're going to do one of the yogic breaths. And it's often called square breathing because it has 4 parts. So when you're ready, just breathe in to the count of 3. Hold to the count of 3. Exhale to the count of 3. Hold to the count of 3. You can raise the pace or you can slow it down. Go ahead and inhale to the count of 3. Hold to the count of 3. Exhale to the count of 3. Hold to the count of 3. We're going to do one more round. Inhale to the count of 3. Hold to the count of 3. Exhale fully to the count of 3. Hold to the count of 3. And now, before we begin breathing in through our heart center in the heart maths way, go ahead and send down a grounding cord from your root chakra at the base of your spine. It's ruby red, usually spinning and glowing like all the body's energy centers do with different colors. And from that root chakra, go ahead and send a silver or gold or a color of your choice grounding cord down from your chakra all the way through the building you're in, all the way through the crust. Let it go down into the deeper levels of the earth. Let it go down further until it finally reaches the center of the earth, which is the earth's heart, the core, and let it expand in all directions quickly. These are very much like the roots of a tree. Now we're going to hold hands, and we're going to start breathing in through our heart center and exhaling again through our heart center. Do this at a pace that really suits you. Breathe in through your heart, and when you're ready, exhale through your heart. If you feel inclined, now would be a good time to breathe in a beautiful, clear, crystalline color on the in-breath through your heart, and exhale that color back out through your heart. Let it fill the environment that you're in. Breathing that healing color in through your heart center, letting it fill up your body from the top of your head to the tip of your toes, and exhaling any excess out with the out breath through your heart center. Continue doing this until you feel that you have fully healed, energized, and balanced all your chakra points, all your energy centers. And when you're ready, just imagine being in a beautiful, safe, natural place. It can be completely made up in your imagination, or it can be a real place that you've been to, like a beach, or a mountaintop, or a forest, or a pond, or a lake, or just a meadow. Place yourself in that environment fully. See it, hear it, smell it. Really sense it, and now feel it. Feel the beauty and the serenity and the peace of the place that you've chosen to be in right now, right here. And together, we're going to join in as a power of one on imagining ourselves connecting directly to the divine. So just put your focus on you, not the group. Really see yourself from the inside out or from the outside in. And imagine that you're meditating or praying. And imagine that you found a way to go deeply inside of your being, usually through your heart center or through the anja. If you're very intellectual, you're going to want to go in through your third eye chakra. And if you're very sensitive and emotional, you're going to want to go in now to yourself through your heart chakra. And just sit there. Just sit in the center of your chakra. Sense the peace there. Sense the wellness. Sense the wholeness that resides already within you. And now when you're ready, move up a level to the next chakra. So if you're sitting in your heart chakra, you're going to move your attention up into your third eye chakra, your anja chakra. And if you started in your third eye center, you're going to move up to your crown chakra at the top of your head. And now just sit for a moment within that chakra. Notice how big it is. Notice how expansive it is. Notice how you might be surprised at how really, truly big and limitless the inside of your being truly is when you're sitting inside of it with your consciousness. Feel the peace of being there. Feel the wholeness of being there. And when you're ready, move up further to what is often called your star above your head. often people see it as a mini Merkaba representing their connection to their higher self and the divine. Just like there's a big Merkaba that composes your whole body. See it as pure, white, light. And know that when you recognize the star point above your highest chakra, your crown chakra, notice that when you go into the star, the Merkaba that is you, connecting your higher self to your lower self, connecting your higher consciousness to your consciousness, which is the waking, thinking you, the personality, the ego, the one that functions really well in a material world. When you're sitting in your Merkaba star above your crown chakra, what does it feel like? Do you feel free? Do you feel limitless? Do you feel bright? Do you feel light? Now that you're sitting safely in the star above your crown chakra, simply ask yourself now to connect to divinity. Ask to be connected to the divine. If you prefer, you can say God or source energy, or all that is and ever will be. And when you allow yourself to connect to the divine, what does that feel like? Are you sensing knowledge that all answers are available to you now? You just have to ask, go within, and find the answer. Are you seeing and sensing a healing, that all well-being is available to you right now, and you simply have to connect and ask from within? Are you sensing freedom, that all things are possible to you? Are you sensing peace? Peace through unity with the divine. Recognize that that divine that you are sensing is within you at all times and is accessible to you at all times. Now we're just going to go silent for 3 minutes, and we're going to let our consciousness sit within the Merkaba star that's pure white and spinning above our crown chakra, which can connect us to either our higher self, our group soul, or straight to divinity based on what we ask for in the moment. So before you open your eyes and stretch and move around and really ground yourself back here on Earth and 3D matter and our shared matrix, go ahead and give a blessing that's personal from you to the divine in gratitude for your ability to connect directly to divinity. And when you've given that gratitude and you know that you can go back here anytime you like, you can just reach up into your soul star from your heart chakra up to your third eye chakra, to your crown chakra, and just above it you can get into your soul star anytime you wish. So go ahead and open your eyes, take a nice breath, move around, kind of stretch a little bit, and be fully present and back.
If you'd like to support the work I do, go to paypal.me/UOTF. Thanks.